President Biden has had no problem essentially reversing virtually every other policy of the previous administration, the Trump administration. If you look at our southern border, it's complete chaos at that border right now because he reversed all the policies Trump had that were working. Same thing with the Iraq deal, the Iran deal. The same thing with the Paris Accords, the same thing with the Keystone Pipeline. I could go one after another, completely reverse Donald Trump's policies. Yet this is the one policy that he just can't change. It makes no sense. And then he also, the other thing he did was to blame the troops in Afghanistan and say they won't fight. You know, the United States in the last 18 months hasn't suffered one death, and that's a good thing. During that same period of time, we've had approximately 3,000 Afghan troops that have been casualties during that period of time. So they have been fighting, but they needed some help, and that's the help that we were providing. And at this point, not suffering significant losses. And to pull all those troops out at this point, it's a debacle of historic proportions.
But did you support President Trump wanting to pull them out in early May of this year?
I did not. And I spoke out against it at that time. The one thing that fortunately under President Trump, it was conditions on the ground that were going to determine whether the U.S. troops were pulled out. One of the most significant of those was, did the Taliban do what they said, break from al-Qaeda? And we know they did not. And so I don't think President Trump would have pulled the troops out. And it certainly couldn't have been as chaotic and destructive as this has been.